Rashad, why you didn't
Anyways,
hit me up?
What's up, Rashad? Hey, Rashad.
What's up, Rashad?
Thank you, Rashad.
brother, I love you, brother. Trump lit
What's up,
in it,
Rashad?
yeah.
What it do,
We
boy?
walking around television. Now I want to talk about the summer league shout outs and things of that sort. Like I said, I was wrong about this kid, Yang Hansen, bro. This Yang Hansen kid, I was wrong about him. Going into draft night or after draft night, they say, who you think lost? And I said, oh, they got this this Asian kid, and I know they've been trying to make like a few like just 7-foot Asian guys like work for a while now. Yan Jilian and they try to make Kai Soto a thing of like Kai Soto, the hot new thing in basketball and all of this sort. And none of those guys just panned out. Like none of them were Yao Ming. Yao Ming was special. Yao, you looked at the film, you knew it was a surefire thing. This kid, I was like, I don't know, man. It's just been this long kind of range of these kind of products of kids just haven't worked out. This dude looks like he's a star, bro. I'm not gonna lie. And it looks like there's a chance that we could be talking about in a couple years a 2025 redraft where he's the number one pick. And when you look at the Atlanta Hawks, everybody was celebrating. Oh, the Hawks! Not only did they get a first round pick who kind of slid in the draft and Asa Newell, but they also get another pick that could be a very good chance of being a lottery pick. You get in the stack draft where the top 3 are like generational talents, and man, it's so good for us. And it's like, man, whole time they could have just stayed at 13 and got this kid. One thing about him though, he's like another Jokic variant and things of that sort. When you think of the kid from Houston, Alperen Sengun, when you think about Derek Queen coming in now for New Orleans, obviously Joe Dumars hopes that he evolves into another baby Jokic. But this kid right here is another Jokic variant. He can dish the ball, pass the ball. His bounce passes in transition, like while players cut in, it's just like A1. It's on point every single time. One time tonight in the first half, because I went live after halftime. Jan he made a pass to a player cut into baseline, and the player had to stretch out a little bit and then to get it, but he got it, and then it was a layup and assist and everything. He was just saying, "Yo, I want you to cut harder," and he can't speak English. Maybe that's one of the reasons why he fell. Also, like his conditioning, he looked tired after dunking and running up and down the court a couple times. Have to get conditioning up. Obviously, when you think about Yao Ming, one of the more talented players of his time, probably he would have been considered one of the greatest players of all time if he stayed healthy and things of that sort. But he wasn't healthy. Conditioning is huge with these 7-footers. You think about SSB said this kid is good. He's got higher potential than Sengun. I agree with that. But Sengun we never had to worry about. Sengun is not 7 feet. I think Sengun is like 6'10" or whatever. So we don't have to worry about Sengun constantly being hurt and stuff like that. When you look at kids like Wemby, right, over 7'5", and he moves the way that he moves and he does all the things he does. Another one like you mentioned, Chet Holmgren, and then who else? Joel Embiid being 7'2". Like the thing with this unicorn era of basketball where 7+ foot guys are moving around and they're doing this and they're doing that. The problem with it is you're going to get hurt a lot because 7-footers ain't supposed to be moving like that. It's a reason why at the basis of basketball and old school basketball, 7-footers just doing this and that's it. Or Bowl, or or Manute Bowl, excuse me, God rest his soul, is standing out there and he's just standing out there stationary and shooting a 3 on the spot up. And it's not he gets the ball down on the block. He turns around, face up, back up to the 3-point line, shoots it, and then sprints back on defense. That just 7-footers don't really move like that. So that's the concern with this kid is his health, his conditioning, and we'll see what happens with that. Obviously, the English won't be much of a worry, I don't think, as long as he just knows like, help, I got you. Side, that's all he needs to know. I got you, young. That's all he needs to know on the court. Everything else is just speaking the game of basketball, which he knows. Playmaking bigs are the new hit commodity. a hot commodity, 100%, 100% SSB. But this kid, he falls right in line with that. And like I said, there is a great chance that we could be looking at this in a couple years in the 2025 redraft and like, dang, why didn't this kid go number one? And if that's the case, it could look really bad for a few franchises. However, until the meantime, we just sit back, enjoy the basketball, enjoy the games and things of that sort. Remember in the mid 2010s, everybody wanted a backcourt or scoring shooting guard. Yeah. I remember but PG became very like the guy too. Like when it was like Paul George existed and Kawhi Leonard just did what he did in 2014 for the Spurs. And I think that became like the thing that everybody wanted. And people still want that. Billups has a high IQ. Yeah, shouts out to Billups, man. Doing a great job. Shaq thought he coached the Detroit Pistons and then he got corrected on it and he acted like it wasn't a big deal. That's still like one of the standout moments for me last season of like Shaq really thought Chauncey Billups coached the Pistons and he was like, Chauncey's doing a great job. I was like, bro, what? Candace Parker called him out on it. Shout out Candace Parker. Candace Parker also called out Keyshawn Johnson when he interviewed her about and he said that Angel Reese was from Louisiana. It's just little things like that I'm like, thank you, Candace Parker, for showing up and doing your job. Because these are like basic facts. Like it's some things that you don't know if you don't know how to pronounce Shingun or this kid like Yang Hansen. Like if you don't know how to pronounce his name, like I might have just mispronounced it right there. Like, okay. But basic stuff like Chauncey Billups coaches the Portland Trailblazers, not the Detroit. You should know that stuff. But yeah. It'll be interesting to see what Portland can do, bro. They got the kid Shaden Sharp. They got Sharp. They just traded away homeboy Anthony and things of that sort. They still got Danny out there. Shouts out to my boy Danny and his people and everything. Keyshawn Johnson, he did a sit-down interview with Candace Parker and who was it? Cheryl Miller. So he's doing the sit-down interview and he asked them about Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. And Keyshawn, he says, obviously Caitlin's a fiery girl from Iowa, and then you have this fiery girl from Louisiana and Angel Reese. And Candace Parker's like, I want to correct you. Angel Reese is from Baltimore. And he's like, oh, yeah. So that was it. But shout out to Candace Parker for getting folks right on that stuff. All right. What's the next thing? Ali Sadiq. All right, let's get into this. Ali.
Rashad, why you didn't hit me up?
What's up, Rashad? Hey, Rashad.
What's up, Rashad?
Thank you, Rashad.
Brother, I love you, brother.
What's up, Rashad? What it do, boy?
Hey, Rashad.